If you've come to Solitude to join the Legion, speak to Rika. If not, just keep your nose clean while you're here, or you'll end up like Rogvir. You're just in time to say hello to Rogvir. He's the sorry bastard who's going to be executed. A gate guard who let Ulfric Stormcloak escape the city after he killed the High King.
Sorry, I was lost in thought. I'm planning my wedding, you see. So many details to work out.
You're just in time to say hello to Rugbeer.
They can't hurt Uncle Rogbeer. Tell them he didn't do it.
Positions.
Svar, you need to go home. Go home and stay there until your mother comes.
Lock the city gate.
Traitor!
You betrayed us!
Betrayed his high
Get
king.
on with it!
Does she know now, Edvard?
You're all hard.
Rogver, you helped Ulfric Stormcloak escape the city after he murdered High King Torrig. By opening that gate for Ulfric, you betrayed the people of Solitude.
Traitor!
Deserve to speak!
There was no murder. Ulfric
Liar.
told the story. He beat the High King in fair combat. Such is our way. Such is the ancient custom of Skyrim and all Nords.
Ooh! Very well, Rogver. Bow your head.
On this day, I go to Sovngarde.
The Greybeards have summoned the Dragonborn to High Hrothgar. Such a thing has not happened for hundreds of years.
Waiting.
Guard, you are!
He died.
Rogvir, why did it have to be like this?
I guess it's all over. I expected...
I still can't believe he knew what he was doing when he opened that gate.
If you're heading to the Blue Palace, you might want to rethink that.
Not right now.
I think I expected more.
Not right now.
Good riddance to bad rubbish, I say.
He should have drawn it out some more. He deserved a slower death.
Damn shame, Rogver. You're a good man.
A man opens a gate and they cut his head off? Doesn't seem right to me.
Out with it.
You wouldn't be a sellsword, would you? I have a little problem you could solve. I'm the headsman here in Solitude. It's my job. Depends on what you mean by busy. I'm also the head jailer in the dungeon here. Quiet job, usually. Ain't got one, but I'd fancy a chance at that Jari Ra's scrawny neck. Filthy Argonian never would have set foot in this city if High King Torrig was still alive. I can tell you that. Keep your head about you. Mind yourself in my city, friend. This here axe in full swing is right to take. Can you spare a septum? Lost an eye during the Great War, or I'd earn it myself. I was the finest scout in the Legion once. Tracked down all the places in the wilds that were causing people trouble. Lost my helmet in one of the old caves. My pretty, pretty helmet. Life just got worse after that. Kept losing things. So many things. Oh, you could? I sure would love to have it again. Could show you some of my old scouting tricks. What? You see a man falling on hard times, and you think he's been like that forever? I was there. I fought in the Great War. I was on the field at Anvil. And when I was struck down, they left me. You understand? They left me for dead. I didn't leave them.
Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart.
I do miss that helmet. Ah, yet another new face. I'm from Hammerfell, you see. I can hardly keep track of all the people I've been meeting. Where the dragon attacked? We've heard rumors of death and fire from the skies, but no real news. Then we should soon be selling arrows by the bushel. A sword is no good against a dragon. Aye, but I'll be here in Solitude for longer still. Viata's skill as a fletcher drew me to this place. I wanted to learn. And there is still much of Skyrim I wish to see. I hear there is a city, Windhelm, that is nearly white with... what do you call it? Oh yeah, snow. And far to the west lies a ruin, Volskag. Inside there's said to be a wall, black as night, and it speaks in the ancient dragon tongue. There are wonders in this place I never dreamed imaginable. Good to talk to a fellow traveler.
Good evening. I'm Pantia Atia, the master vocalist. I'm a bard from the Bard's College here in Solitude. Wanderers like you should think about applying. Now you can say you've met the most talented bard in all of Skyrim.
I'm not interested, Jari. It doesn't matter how many times you ask.
You might want to rethink that. You're missing out on some wonderful opportunities working in that bar.
Seems there's no end to the needs of the Imperials. But what can I help you with? I think I would, if it weren't for my son and my wife. Oh, Seema would have my hide if I even suggested I might step foot on a battlefield. You think Stormcloaks and Legionnaires are dangerous? Ha! It's almost all I have time for these days. The men training here in Solitude, and the troops out in the field. They all need weapons and armor. You should look into joining. They could use every hand they can get. To be honest, no. But High King Torrig supported them. And now, her Lady Elisif has thrown in with them. You could say I'm a king's man at heart. I guess that's Jarl's man now. My loyalty lies with Solitude. So, where Jarl Elisif leads, I follow. Return anytime you need arms or armor. My forge never rests.
What could it mean? The return of the Dragonborn? And who among us could possibly hold that honor and such power?
I'm telling you, Ulfric's planning an attack on Whiterun.
He'd be insane to try. He doesn't have the men.
That's not what my scouts report, sir. Every day more join his cause. Riften, Dawnstar, and Winterhold support him.
It's not a cause. It's a rebellion.
Call it whatever you like, General. The man's going to try to take Whiterun.
Jarl Balgruuf.
Balgruuf refuses the Legion's right to garrison troops in his city. On the other hand, he also refuses to acknowledge Ulfric's claim.
Well, if he wants to stand outside the protection of the Empire, fine. Let Ulfric pillage his city.
General.
You people and your damn Jarls.
Sir, you can't force a Nord to accept help he hasn't asked for.
If Ulfric's making a move for Whiterun, then we need to be there to stop him. Draft another letter with the usual platitudes, but this time share some of your intelligence regarding Ulfric's plans. Embellish if you have to. We'll let it seem like it's his idea.
Yes, sir.
You Nords and your bloody sense of honor.
Sir.
Are my men now giving free rein to anyone who wanders into the castle? Do you have some reason to be here, citizen? Right, Helgen. One of the prisoners, if I recall correctly. I suppose that's true. Fine.
Why don't you have a chat with Legate Ricca? I suspect we might have use for someone resourceful like you. Not many survived Helgen. Besides, I'm sure your being imprisoned was all a terrible misunderstanding.
You survived Helgen? General Tullius told me what happened. Not many made it out alive. I've got a good feeling about you, and I don't often get good feelings about anything. A warrior knows to trust her gut. I'm not going to go through the normal process with you. I've got a little test lined up. Pass that, and we'll talk about you joining the Legion. Is that confidence or bravado? Confidence I can use. Bravado gets soldiers killed. We'll soon find out. I'm sending you to clear out Fort Haragstad. If you survive, you'll pass. If you die, then I'll have no further use for your corpse. The ancients built many of the fortresses that dot the landscape of Skyrim. Sadly, most have fallen into disrepair, and nearly all have been overrun with bandits or other vagabonds. Fort Haragstad is one of the few that remains mostly intact. We're going to install a garrison there, but first, you're going to clean out the bandits that have moved in. Good, that's what I want to hear. Now go make it happen, soldier. Sir.
By the gods, it's true, isn't it? A dragon has attacked Whiterun. How could mere men bring down such a beast?
Out with it. That I am. Train the recruits. Turn boys into men. That sort of thing. Thinking of asking the general for some training books. Give the soldiers something to do while they're on rest. Something besides drinking. Ever seen a book called The Mirror? We used to hand it out to boys looking to learn basic shield work. Good on you. Their aim could be steadier, but they're battle ready. Keep my men in your prayers. They'll need them if they don't shape up.
You heard of Ravenscar Hollow? Cave on the island to the west. Places a roost for those foul hag ravens.
You help me. You help people, right? That's what you do. My master has abandoned me. Abandoned his people. And nothing I say can change his mind. Now he refuses to even see me. He says I interrupt his vacation. It's been so many years. Won't you please help? Oh, you just don't understand. Without him, I am not free. Without him, I am doomed. All of his empire shall fall into chaos. Last I saw him, he was visiting a friend in the Blue Palace. But no one as mundane as the Jarl. No, no. Such people are below him. No, he went into the forbidden wing of the palace to speak with an old friend. Said it had been ages since they had last had tea. Oh, and you'll need the hip bone. It's very important. No entering Pelagius's wing without that. All right, then.
Unless we have specific business, I'm not interested. No lollygagging. You can sell off that junk at bits and pieces.
Sabile Stentor has a grasp of magical theory that I would never have expected from a human, even a Breton. I make sure Erica keeps breathing. No, that honor is Sabile Stentor's. A smart man steers clear of Stentor, and keeps himself out of the dungeon when she's having a bad day. Let's just say that the headsman's axe may not be the worst way for a Solitude jail prisoner to die. Look at that. I've told you to watch your tongue, and mine is waggling. I've said enough. Oh, I think you'll find that magic is rare in Skyrim. Winterhold, though, the college there has it in abundance. Look there if you wish to learn. You are free to leave.
Best offense is a good defense, am I right?
It's a fine day with you around. Oh, I'd get in trouble for that. It's not allowed. Besides, it's scary in there. Well, I suppose in that case it's okay to let you in. But only briefly. Be careful and come right back. Don't mess anything up while you're here.
Thane Bryling, at your service.
The Imperials are good for business, and business is good for Skyrim.
Jarls come and Jarls go, but a good cook stays for a lifetime. And I'm a very, very good cook.
Bryling's obsession with honor and tradition is quaint, but politically irrelevant. I'm a Thane. In the future, you may want to gain that information before talking with someone. Risk of looking like an idiot and all that. Oh, most certainly. At least when Elisif herself asks. If you're inquiring whether we have concerns about her age and inexperience, let me put it this way. The Thanes have every confidence in General Tullius's leadership. I must return to the court. They simply can't make do without me.
Everyone knows General Tullius wields the real power in Solitude. Elisif? Yeah, she's a figurehead. Puppet. Please, don't interrupt the court.
I swear to you, unnatural magics are coming from that cave. There are strange noises and lights. We need someone to investigate.
Then we will immediately send out a legion to scour the cave and secure the town. Halfingar's people will always be safe under my
Your
rule.
Eminence, my scrying has suggested nothing in the area. Dragonbridge is under Imperial control. This is likely superstitious nonsense.
Perhaps a more tempered reaction might be called for?
Oh, yes, of course, you were right. Falk, tell Captain Aldous I said to assign a few extra soldiers to Dragonbridge.
Thank you, Jarl Elisif. But about the cave?
I will have someone take care of the cave as well, Varnius. You can rest easy. You're dismissed.
With the passing of my dear husband Torrig, the weighty position of Jarl has fallen to me. Please direct questions to my steward. Because that's what traitorous cowards do when they desire power. Ulfric coveted the High King's throne. He thought he deserved it more than Torrig, and so he came before my husband and he shouted with that terrible voice, like something out of a legend or a nightmare. When Ulfric unleashed such fury, my husband, he simply ceased to be. That is all I will say, for it grieves me to speak of it. Not yet, no. Although it is true my husband Torrig was the High King, and I am his widow. Now is not the time to lay claim to such a title. This land is riven by war, and her people suffer for it. The Stormcloaks are a blight on Skyrim, and like any blight, must be purged. Only then will I take my rightful place as High Queen. A question I am all too familiar with. One my very Thanes ask often. They worry that Tullius is so focused on the war that he risks forgetting what's best for our people. The real irony is that, while General Tullius is certainly no Nord, the people of Skyrim would be lost without him. Trust is always difficult, especially for my people. Yet we must trust in Tullius's leadership. For what other choice do we have? Oh, I thought that matter was handled. I think Falk is taking care of that. Be well. Pray for Solitude and my husband. Be quick.
Do you have business with the court?
For mundane concerns.
The Jarl has put out a bounty on some bandits. Here, take a look at this decree for details. You mean the Dragon Bridge issue? I'll be honest with you, I was planning to let that go. Varnius is a bit jumpy at the best of times. There have been reports of weird happenings near Wolfskull Cave. Travelers disappearing, odd lights. I suspect wild animals, or perhaps bandits. I don't think it's worth our time with the war going on. But if you want to clear out the cave, I'll make sure you're repaid for your work. The cave has a bad history. Long ago, Potema the Wolf Queen used it for necromantic rituals. That's where it got the name. That was over 500 years ago. Nothing much down there now, but everyone's always convinced the cave is haunted. That remains to be seen. By rights, she has a legitimate claim as High Queen of Skyrim, but we must have the support of the other Jarls for that claim to have any meaning. Should they accept her rule, we will have peace. Of course he does. What sort of a question is that? Maybe you've been listening to Eriker. There's been loose talk among some of the Thanes, and I suspect he's the cause of it. You'll pay those rumors no heed if you wish to retain your welcome in this city. She may be young, but Elisif is the Jarl by right. And here in Skyrim, if nothing else, we respect the traditions of our fathers' fathers. You'd do well to remember that. Feel free to return to me with questions. The Blue Palace is an open forum.
If I needed something from you, you would know it. Nothing. I'm busy, and I don't like being bothered unless I'm expecting something from you. Oh, don't give me that look. Fine, I suppose I can find some menial task to set your mind on. We have something of a vampire problem. Bodies have been found with blood drained. I know of a den nearby you can wipe out as a precaution. I don't expect you to be capable of even that. I was a member of the court during the reign of Torig's father. It was Torig who appointed me to the position. I like to think I've aged well. I'm certainly wiser than I once was, and I know when one should speak, and when one should hold their tongue. I was, to my shame. The whole court was in attendance. I've seen much in my time, but that was a gruesome day. Ulfric showed up at the gates of Solitude requesting an audience. We thought he was here to ask Torig to declare independence. By the time we realized Ulfric was here to challenge Torig, it was already too late. By Nord custom, once the challenge was issued in court, Torig had no choice but to accept. Had he not, Ulfric would have had cause to call a new moot and a new vote for High King. Torig had some martial training, of course, but it mattered little that day. When Ulfric's lips parted, when he unleashed the power of the Thu'um, that shout, that ancient and terrible tongue, ripped Torg asunder. Vampires are clever hunters. More clever than you, definitely.